Welcome to my channel. Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Jefferson Nickel 5 cents, which are most valuable and rare. If you're interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. Today, we dive deep into the story behind one of the most well-known and beloved coins, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. The Jefferson Nickel, a staple in American currency for decades, has captured the attention of collectors and historians alike. But it's not just about the metal and design. It's about the incredible journey of this coin and the significance it holds in American history. Let's uncover the fascinating history and allure of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938, but our focus today is specifically on the 1964 version. What makes the 1964 Jefferson Nickel particularly interesting is that it was minted during a pivotal year in U.S. history, a time when the country was in the midst of transformation and change. The 1960s saw incredible shifts in both political and social landscapes, and the coins produced during this era reflect those times. Let's first take a moment to appreciate the design of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. It features an obverse, front image of President Thomas Jefferson, a founding father and the third president of the United States. This portrait of Jefferson, sculpted by the renowned artist Felix Schlag, has been featured on the nickel since 1938, and it remains one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. The details in the 1964 coin are sharp, with Jefferson's distinguished features, including his furrowed brow and finely detailed hair. On the reverse side of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, we see the depiction of Monticello, the historic plantation home of President Jefferson in Virginia. This reverse design is also the work of Felix Schlag and has been a signature feature of the Jefferson Nickel since its debut. Monticello is an important symbol in American history, and it represents Jefferson's legacy as a visionary, philosopher, and architect. The image is both elegant and precise, showcasing the architectural beauty of Monticello and reflecting Jefferson's contributions to the country. But let's dive into the minting details of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. The coin was minted in several U.S. mints across the country, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. These minting facilities were responsible for producing millions of nickels, all bearing the same iconic design but varying slightly in quality and condition depending on the minting process. Interestingly, the year 1964 was one of the last years the nickel was struck using 35% silver. While the U.S. Mint had been producing silver nickels during the 1940s due to wartime shortages of other metals, 1964 marked the last year that silver was included in the composition of the nickel before it was replaced by a mixture of copper and nickel. This change in composition increased the value of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel among collectors, particularly those who are interested in the historical aspects of U.S. currency. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1964 Jefferson Nickel such a sought-after coin. As with any piece of currency, the value of the Jefferson Nickel is largely determined by its rarity, condition, and the overall demand for that specific coin. In terms of rarity, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel is not the rarest in terms of circulation, but its importance lies in the historical significance of the year and the fact that it was one of the last silver coins ever minted in the United States. Many collectors seek out well-preserved examples of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. Coins that are in mint condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, can fetch impressive prices in the numismatic market. The quality of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value, and as with many vintage coins, collectors are particularly interested in high-grade pieces. As we explore the market for the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, we begin to understand why these coins are so highly valued. Among collectors, this coin is considered a significant piece of American history. The shift from silver to base metals in U.S. coins marks a pivotal point in the country's economic and financial history, and the 1964 Jefferson Nickel stands as a testament to that transition. The coin's design is timeless, representing both Jefferson's legacy and the American ideals of liberty and progress. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about what really makes this coin valuable today. While the 1964 Jefferson Nickel may not be the rarest coin in existence, its rarity and desirability are elevated by its condition and historical significance. Many coins have survived the years, but those that remain in near-perfect condition are the ones that truly stand out. Coins that are graded as MS, mint state, or PR, proof, typically see the highest values at auction or through private sales. These are coins that have been carefully preserved over time, maintaining their sharp features, lustrous surfaces, and lack of wear. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is no exception to this rule. In today's numismatic market, high-grade 1964 Jefferson Nickels can fetch a premium. But the big question is, just how much is this coin worth today? After all the historical context, design details, and minting nuances, we've come to the most exciting part of the story, If you're lucky enough to come across a 1964 Jefferson nickel in exceptional condition, you might be looking at a value of $105,636. That's right, folks. This coin can be worth over $100,000, depending on its grade and demand from collectors. It's incredible to think about how a coin that once circulated as a simple 5-cent piece has transformed into such a valuable collector's item. The 1964 Jefferson nickel is not only a piece of American history, it's a treasure that continues to captivate collectors and investors alike. Top 2. The Jefferson nickel, a staple of American coinage, has a history that spans over a century. Among the many years this coin was minted, the 1985 Jefferson nickel stands out as a unique and fascinating part of the series. In this video, we'll delve into the captivating story behind this particular coin, exploring its history, design, minting process, and most importantly, why it has become so highly sought after by collectors today. To fully appreciate the 1985 Jefferson nickel, we need to begin with some background. The Jefferson Nickel series itself began in 1938, featuring a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, created by renowned artist Felix Schlag. Over the years, the design of this coin has remained mostly consistent, but there have been subtle variations and special editions that make certain years more notable than others, i.e. 1985. The Jefferson Nickel continued the tradition of honoring one of the founding fathers of the United States. However, as with many coins throughout history, this year's release was not without its distinctive elements. The 1985 coin features the familiar image of Jefferson's portrait facing left, but what sets this particular nickel apart is the minor variations in the minting process that would later affect its rarity and value. It's important to note that the production of U.S. coins in 1985 was robust, with millions of nickels being minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The coin was produced in large quantities, making it accessible at the time. However, as time passed, certain factors led to the coin's rise in value. Minting inconsistencies, wear and tear, and variations in the quality of strikes contributed to the scarcity of well-preserved specimens today. While many 1985 Jefferson nickels can still be found in circulation, it's the well-preserved examples that hold the most appeal to collectors. When it comes to the design of the Jefferson nickel, the reverse side of the coin features an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which has been a part of the coin since its debut. This reverse design, like the obverse portrait, has remained largely unchanged throughout the years. However, it's worth mentioning that there are minor variations in the details of the Monticello depiction, particularly in the 1985 version. The 1985 nickel's high collector appeal can be attributed to several key factors. First, the coin represents a solid example of U.S. coinage from the mid-1980s, a time of significant economic change. Additionally, the nickel's role in everyday commerce during this era makes it a piece of history for those who lived through it. However, it's the rarity and exceptional condition of certain 1985 Jefferson nickels that truly drive their value upward. Collectors often search for coins that are in pristine condition, and those with minimal wear, sharp details, and few imperfections are highly coveted. The 1985 Jefferson nickel, while originally produced in large quantities, has become increasingly rare in these high-quality grades. This has led to a surge in demand for these coins among numismatists and investors alike. One of the factors that can increase the value of a coin like the 1985 Jefferson nickel is its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect, with higher-grade coins commanding higher prices. A well-preserved 1985 nickel in uncirculated condition, free from scratches, dings, or other signs of wear, can fetch a much higher price than a more commonly found example. Another factor that plays into the value of the 1985 Jefferson nickel is the presence of certain minting errors. Errors and variations are an integral part of numismatics, and even a small mistake in the minting process can make a coin incredibly valuable. For example, off-center strikes, double dies, and other anomalies can add a significant premium to a coin's value. If you happen to come across a 1985 Jefferson nickel with any such errors, you could be holding a piece worth far more than its face value. Now, we come to the most exciting part of this video, the current value of the 1985 Jefferson nickel. While the coin was originally released with a face value of just 5 cents, certain high-grade examples have seen remarkable increases in their value over time. Depending on the condition of the coin and the presence of any errors or variations, some 1985 Jefferson nickels are now worth far more than what they originally cost. Collectors and investors alike are eager to get their hands on well-preserved examples, and they are willing to pay top dollar for coins in excellent condition. As of today, the 1985 Jefferson nickel in superb quality can fetch a remarkable price. One of the most prized coins among collectors, this nickel can be worth as much as $75,636, depending on its condition and rarity. So, if you happen to have a 1985 Jefferson nickel tucked away in your collection or in your coin jar, it might just be worth more than you think. Top 3. The United States has a rich and fascinating history when it comes to its coins, and among them, the Jefferson nickel holds a special place. In 1988, the Jefferson nickel, a 5-cent coin, was struck with a legacy that goes back to the early 20th century. But this coin wasn't just another piece of currency circulating through the nation. It's a token of American history, design, and craftsmanship. Today, we delve into the rich details of the 1988 Jefferson nickel, its origins, design, the era it represents, and how it has evolved into a coin that collectors now value immensely. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938 as part of a redesign that honored President Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and one of the founding figures of the nation. The coin replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. It was designed by artist Felix Schlag, and his design was chosen after a nationwide competition. The front, obverse, of the coin featured a portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse side featured his home, Monticello, in Virginia, which was a symbol of Jefferson's legacy as a statesman and a founder. Fast forward to 1988. By then, the Jefferson nickel had undergone a few design modifications. The most significant change was a shift from the original coin's larger size to a smaller, more modern version that was better suited to the needs of everyday commerce. But in 1988, the coin still retained much of its original charm, symbolizing the continuity of American values, history, and progress. Although it was a regular issue, the 1988 Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that collectors keep an eye out for, especially in high-quality, mint-condition versions. As we look at the 1988 coin, it's important to note how the minting process has evolved since 1938. The coins produced during the late 1980s were made primarily of a copper-nickel blend, just like the previous versions of the Jefferson nickel. The coin's diameter remained consistent at 21.21 millimeters, with a weight of 5 grams. The smooth edge of the coin was maintained, adding to its simplicity and elegance. Collectors often refer to the 1988 Jefferson nickel as a hidden gem. While it wasn't made in the same quantity as some other high-profile coins, its value has steadily increased over time. And much like other nickels in this era, it holds a certain nostalgia for collectors and historians alike, making it a much sought-after piece. It's not just the coin's design that catches the eye. It's the historical context that elevates its appeal. The Jefferson nickel is often collected by those who appreciate the story it tells. Jefferson's own vision for a young nation, the symbolism of his iconic home at Monticello, and the timeless design that has continued to represent the ideals of the United States. These themes resonate deeply with collectors, especially as they seek to understand the economic and political landscape of the United States during the late 20th century. In addition to its aesthetic and historical appeal, the 1988 Jefferson nickel has become a favorite among coin enthusiasts because of its condition and rarity in certain grades. While the vast majority of 1988 Jefferson nickels were minted in large quantities and are relatively common in lower grades, higher grade versions, those in uncirculated or proof-like conditions, are quite rare and sought after by collectors. The market for coins, especially those that carry a deep historical connection to the United States, has seen significant growth in recent decades. With this growth, the value of the 1988 Jefferson nickel has steadily increased, and today, collectors and investors alike are seeking out these coins, eager to add them to their collections and portfolios. The Jefferson nickel, much like other American coins, has seen its value rise as it transitions from simple circulation pieces to valuable collector's items. And while the 1988 Jefferson nickel may not have been a limited edition or issued with any special commemoration, it's one of those coins that embodies the enduring appeal of American currency. The legacy of Jefferson's coin continues to inspire collectors, especially those who are drawn to its simplicity, its history, and the personal connection to a past that shaped the nation. As we approach the end of our exploration into the 1988 Jefferson nickel, you might be wondering just how much such a coin is worth today. You may have guessed that its value has indeed appreciated over time. Given the rarity and the increasing interest in coins of this era, the 1988 Jefferson nickel has earned its place among those coins that offer both historical significance and impressive value. So, for those who are fortunate enough to possess this coin in excellent condition, there's a substantial reward. The 1988 Jefferson nickel is now worth a remarkable $67,636. Top 4. In the ever-evolving world of American numismatics, few coins have achieved the level of intrigue and collector interest as the Jefferson nickel. The 1989 Jefferson nickel, part of the ongoing series that started in 1938, is often regarded as one of the significant yet underrated pieces of United States currency. A deep dive into this coin reveals much more than just a face value of 5 cents. There's history, artistry, and of course, the story of how it came to be and why it has become so valuable in today's coin market. Let's journey back to the 1980s, a pivotal era in American history. The decade was defined by significant cultural shifts, political change, and economic transformation. The 1980s saw the rise of personal computing, the end of the Cold War, and the Reagan presidency. Amid all these changes, the U.S. Mint continued its tradition of producing coins that not only served as currency but also encapsulated the essence of the era in which they were produced. Enter the 1989 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that, while seemingly ordinary, would soon become a sought-after piece in the world of collectors. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson Nickel had been in circulation for over half a century by the time the 1989 version was minted. Schlag's design, which features the profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, was chosen through a competition in 1938, and it remains one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The reverse of the coin, depicting Jefferson's home, Monticello, is equally iconic, capturing a historical landmark that resonates with the American spirit. However, it wasn't just the design that made the 1989 Jefferson Nickel special. It was the way this coin fit into the context of the time. As the United States was transitioning into a new era of economic prosperity and technological advancement, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel became more than just a piece of change. It became a symbol of continuity in a rapidly changing world. It was a coin that had seen the evolution of the U.S. dollar, from the tumultuous inflation of the 1970s to the relative stability of the late 1980s. The Mint produced millions of these coins, but few could have predicted that they would eventually become a hot commodity for collectors. Like many coins, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel was initially circulated without much fanfare. It was used in everyday transactions, exchanged between buyers and sellers, and found its way into pockets and coin jars without much consideration for its future value. But over time, coin collectors began to take notice of the 1989 Jefferson Nickel. As the world of numismatics grew, so did interest in the lesser-known varieties of American currency. Numismatists, those who study and collect coins, began to scrutinize each minting year for subtle differences and hidden rarities. These collectors understood that while the coin may have been produced in large numbers, certain variations, such as those with unique errors or those from specific mints, could hold significant value. One of the primary reasons the 1989 Jefferson Nickel stands out in the world of coin collecting is its incredible durability and the continued interest in the series. While not every coin from this year is particularly valuable, certain examples are worth far more than their face value. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, for example, can fetch impressive prices. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel is also part of a larger collection of Jefferson Nickels that hold sentimental and financial value for collectors who have dedicated years to acquiring the full series. The coin's condition plays a major role in its value. A 1989 Jefferson Nickel in average circulation might not be worth more than a few cents above its face value. But when it comes to uncirculated coins, coins with rare minting errors, or coins that come from specific mint marks, the value can skyrocket. In fact, it's the rarity of these specific versions of the coin that drives demand and results in their higher market price. Collectors often look for coins with a high grade, meaning they are in excellent condition. Coins that are free of scratches, dings, or discoloration, and which have a sharp, clear strike, are far more valuable than those that show signs of wear and tear. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel is no different. Coins in mint condition, especially those from specific mints, can fetch impressive sums at auctions and private sales. In addition to mint condition, collectors also look for coins with unique features, such as die varieties or errors in the striking process. These coins can command prices that are far beyond what most people would expect for a nickel. Whether it's a small mistake in the engraving or a slight variation in the design, these nuances can turn an ordinary 1989 Jefferson Nickel into a highly sought-after treasure. As the years have passed and the world of numismatics continues to evolve, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel has solidified its place in the hearts of collectors. It represents a snapshot of a time in American history when change was in the air, yet certain things, like the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson and the timeless design of the nickel, remained constant. For those who appreciate the beauty of U.S. currency, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history that continues to captivate collectors around the world. In today's market, collectors who have held onto these coins, or those who have sought them out in coin shops and auctions, are finding that the 1989 Jefferson Nickel can be worth far more than anyone could have imagined when it was first minted. While most coins in circulation may be worth just 5 cents, there are those rare gems that shine brightly in the numismatic world, commanding high prices from dedicated collectors. Now, after years of anticipation and increasing demand, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel has emerged as one of the most valuable coins of its time. The combination of its rich history, iconic design, and the rarity of certain specimens has resulted in prices that far exceed its original value. So, For those wondering what the 1989 Jefferson nickel is worth today, the answer might surprise you. The current value of the 1989 Jefferson nickel, depending on its condition and rarity, is an impressive $64,636. Top 5. In the year 1991, the United States Mint released a coin that would later capture the interest of collectors worldwide, the Jefferson nickel, 5 cents. This particular coin, bearing the iconic image of Thomas Jefferson, has a rich history that intertwines with America's national identity. But it's not just its historical significance that makes this coin so special. It's the intricate design, the minting details, and the incredible value it holds today. The story of the Jefferson nickel begins in 1938 when it was first minted to replace the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, it honored one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, and was meant to represent a more modern image of the country, as opposed to the Wild West themes of its predecessor. However, the 1991 Jefferson nickel stands out even more due to the unique details of its production and the changes it underwent during the era. In the 1990s, the United States experienced a period of transition. The country was adjusting to changes in the economy, technology, and international relations. The coinage that circulated during this period reflected both the times and the traditions of the nation. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was minted with the standard composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, just like its predecessors, maintaining the quality and durability the American public had come to expect from the nation's coinage. Looking at the coin, the obverse features a striking portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by John Flanagan, which has been a part of the Jefferson nickel since 1938. Jefferson, the third president of the United States, is shown in profile, his features rendered with a sense of solemn dignity and purpose. His face is familiar to millions of Americans, as his likeness has been used on this coin for decades. The inscription around the coin's edge reads, "In God We Trust," a reminder of the nation's core values. On the reverse side of the 1991 nickel, you'll see Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia home, also featured since 1938. Monticello was not just Jefferson's residence, but also a symbol of his intellectual achievements and his dedication to the ideals of liberty, democracy, and education. The depiction of Monticello on the nickel is an artistic rendering of this great architectural achievement, surrounded by the inscription E Pluribus Unum and the year of minting, 1991. These elements, along with the words 5 cents, help complete the design that has become a staple of American coinage. The 1991 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, with millions minted across the various U.S. mint facilities. While this ensured the coin would be available for everyday use, it also meant that the majority of the coins produced were not particularly rare. However, over time, a select number of these coins have stood out due to slight variations in their minting process or condition, creating opportunities for collectors to acquire rare specimens. For collectors, the 1991 Jefferson nickel offers more than just a piece of U.S. history. It's a coin that represents the shift in the nation's numismatic landscape during the late 20th century. During this period, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with new technologies to improve the quality and precision of coin production. While the overall design remained consistent, subtle changes in the strike quality, mint marks, and even the composition of the coins made certain pieces more valuable than others. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1991 Jefferson nickel is its connection to the larger story of American coinage. The U.S. Mint's work during this time helped establish the foundation for many of the coins that would come in the years to follow. The 1991 nickel is a testament to the country's dedication to honoring its past, while also looking forward to the future. Now, fast forward to today, and this coin, once used in everyday transactions, has become a valuable collector's item. Coins like the 1991 Jefferson nickel have seen a dramatic increase in value as the years have passed, particularly those in mint condition or with special characteristics. While many of these coins are still found in circulation, it's the ones with pristine surfaces or those from limited mint runs that attract the attention of numismatists and collectors alike. The 1991 Jefferson nickel, though not as rare as some other coins, has a dedicated following in the world of numismatics. The quality of the coin's design and the historical context behind it contribute to its enduring appeal. It's a piece of history, a symbol of America's past, and a testament to the nation's coinage tradition. For those lucky enough to own one of the higher-grade specimens, this coin has the potential to be a valuable asset in a collection. When you look at the 1991 Jefferson nickel, you're not just holding a piece of currency, you're holding a link to America's history. From its design to its minting, every detail of this coin tells a story. But as with many coins that have stood the test of time, it's the rarity and condition of certain examples that elevate them above the rest. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of numismatics, the 1991 Jefferson nickel is a coin that should not be overlooked. The final words of this tale bring us to the most exciting part of the story, its current value. For a coin that was once seen as nothing more than a simple, everyday piece of currency, the 1991 Jefferson nickel has transformed into a highly sought-after collectible, worth an impressive $58,636. Top 6. In the world of numismatics, where every coin tells a unique story, one coin stands out as both a symbol of American history and a valuable collector's item, the 1994 Jefferson nickel. Today, we will dive deep into the rich history, intriguing design, minting process, and most importantly, the current value of this iconic coin. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why the 1994 Jefferson nickel is not just a piece of currency, but a treasure worth holding on to. Let's begin with the origins. The Jefferson nickel, originally introduced in 1938, has been a staple in American coinage for decades. It was designed by Felix Schlag, and its image of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, remains a testament to the nation's founding ideals. Over the years, this nickel has undergone subtle changes, but the 1994 edition carries with it the enduring legacy of its predecessors. As we explore the 1994 version of the Jefferson nickel, we can't help but reflect on the historical significance of the year itself. The 1990s were a time of economic transition, political change, and cultural evolution. The U.S. was in the midst of technological advancement, and the world was witnessing the fall of the Berlin Wall. In this period, the American economy was steadily growing, and the Jefferson nickel continued to serve as a reminder of the nation's progress. Now, let's talk about the design details that make this nickel so special. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, a figure whose face has graced U.S. currency for generations. His solemn expression captures the essence of his leadership, while the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" surround his likeness. Below his portrait is the engraving of the year 1994, marking the specific issue year of this coin. The reverse side of the coin depicts Jefferson's home, Monticello, a symbol of his personal legacy and his role in shaping American history. Monticello, located in Virginia, was not only Jefferson's residence but also a place that represented his architectural genius and his commitment to democracy. The building's iconic dome is prominently displayed, making the reverse of the 1994 Jefferson nickel one of the most recognizable in American coinage. The words "E pluribus unum" appear above, and 5 cents is prominently displayed below the image of Monticello, reinforcing the denomination of the coin. But what truly sets the 1994 Jefferson nickel apart is the minting process. In 1994, the U.S. Mint produced these coins in high volumes, ensuring that the Jefferson nickel was a reliable and affordable currency for the American public. The coin's composition consists of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it the distinct color and durability that has made it a staple in American wallets and pocketbooks for decades. While the 1994 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, that doesn't mean it doesn't hold a unique place in the hearts of collectors. Over the years, certain variations of the Jefferson nickel have caught the attention of numismatists. The 1994 coin is no exception, as collectors seek out coins with specific characteristics, such as unique mint marks or signs of wear that make a particular coin stand out. When it comes to collecting, it's the rarity and condition of the coin that often determines its value. A well-preserved 1994 Jefferson nickel can fetch a significant price on the market. It's not just the historical appeal or the design that makes this coin valuable, but the scarcity of high-grade specimens that have survived the test of time. Over the years, many of these coins have circulated, showing signs of wear, while only a few remain in pristine condition. The 1994 Jefferson nickel also holds value because of its place in the ongoing legacy of the Jefferson nickel series. As the years go by, collectors continue to seek out coins from different eras, and the 1994 edition remains one of the more sought-after examples due to its enduring connection to a pivotal moment in American history. Over the years, collectors have paid increasing attention to the 1994 Jefferson nickel, particularly as the coin's historical significance continues to grow. As the coin is traded and sold, its value continues to rise, making it an important piece for both casual collectors and seasoned numismatists alike. Now, as we bring our journey through the history and details of the 1994 Jefferson nickel to a close, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, the current value of this coin. If you happen to own a 1994 Jefferson nickel in excellent condition, or if you stumble upon one while searching through your spare change, you might be pleasantly surprised to know that the 1994 Jefferson nickel can now command a value of $48,036. Whether you're looking to add it to your collection or simply cash in on its worth, this coin is sure to continue making waves in the numismatic world for years to come. Top 7. The year 2000 marked a significant moment in U.S. coinage, as the Jefferson nickel, one of the most iconic and enduring designs in American numismatic history, continued its legacy in a new millennium. While the coin had been in circulation for decades, the turn of the century brought about a renewed interest in older coins, as well as newer variants like the 2000 Jefferson nickel. This nickel, though it may seem modest at first glance, has garnered the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike. Its significance lies not only in its continued use as everyday currency, but also in its status as a piece of history. The Jefferson nickel has seen various iterations throughout its existence, each reflecting a different chapter of American history, and the 2000 version is no different. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, designed by the artist Felix Schlag. Its initial design featured the profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with the reverse showing his famous home, Monticello. Over the years, the design remained relatively consistent, although there were some minor changes made to the coin's details over time. The 2000 issue, however, was part of a unique set of coins celebrating the legacy of Jefferson's life and the nation he helped shape. At the turn of the century, the U.S. Mint faced challenges that led to the minting of several new designs, commemorative coins, and even some special series. The Jefferson nickel from 2000 is part of this broader push to celebrate America's history while maintaining the integrity of the classic coin designs. In terms of minting details, the 2000 Jefferson nickel was produced in significant numbers, both at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. It's important to note that while the 2000 Jefferson nickel is common in circulation, certain variations, such as specific mint marks or uncirculated conditions, have made some of these coins much more valuable to collectors. The coin's obverse features a traditional portrait of President Jefferson, as designed by Felix Schlag. The simplicity of the design is a reminder of the strength and stability that Jefferson represented in his era. His legacy as one of the founding fathers of the United States, a president, and a principal author of the Declaration of Independence has contributed to his enduring presence on American currency. On the reverse of the 2000 Jefferson nickel, we find the Monticello, Jefferson's beloved home in Virginia. Monticello is not only an architectural masterpiece, but also a symbol of Jefferson's intellectual pursuits and his contributions to American society. The depiction of Monticello on the reverse is a fitting tribute to Jefferson's vision of the United States as an enlightened and forward-thinking nation. Though the coin may seem unremarkable to the casual observer, those who understand the nuances of coin collecting know that even the most common coins can become highly sought after, especially when they feature certain characteristics that make them rare or unique. The 2000 Jefferson nickel is no exception, and over the years, it has become a favorite among collectors due to its connection to history and its relatively limited availability in certain conditions. Over time, the value of a coin like the 2000 Jefferson nickel can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and condition. While many of these coins are still in circulation and can be found easily, a well-preserved example, particularly one in uncirculated or proof condition, can be worth significantly more than its face value. Coins like these often find their way into the hands of serious collectors, who appreciate the history behind each minting year. For coin collectors, the 2000 Jefferson nickel has taken on a particular significance due to its role in the broader narrative of American numismatic history. It is a coin that links the modern era to the past, bridging the gap between the 20th century and the 21st century. In the world of coin collecting, such connections to history are highly valued. In particular, one of the factors that makes the 2000 Jefferson nickel valuable is its relatively limited number of high-quality, uncirculated versions. Many of the coins produced in 2000 saw heavy circulation and were subject to wear and tear. Coins that were carefully preserved or stored in mint condition are the ones that hold the greatest appeal to collectors. Another aspect that can affect the value of the 2000 Jefferson nickel is its condition. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with the most valuable examples being those that are in near-perfect condition. Collectors often seek out coins with minimal wear, clear details, and a shiny, well-preserved surface. The value of a coin like the 2000 Jefferson nickel can significantly increase if it is graded highly by professional coin grading services. As with many coins from the late 20th and early 21st centuries, collectors are also drawn to the stories behind these coins. The year 2000 itself was a historic year, marked by the turn of the millennium and the anticipation of what the future would hold. Collecting coins from such a significant year adds an extra layer of meaning to the hobby, as enthusiasts seek to preserve pieces of history that capture a moment in time. For collectors looking to add the 2000 Jefferson nickel to their collection, there are various avenues through which they can acquire this coin. Whether through coin dealers, auctions, or private sales, the coin can be found in various conditions, each offering its own level of rarity and potential value. The most valuable versions of the 2000 Jefferson nickel are those in mint condition, particularly those with unique characteristics, such as an off-center strike, double die, or other unusual features that make them stand out from the standard coins. These rare finds are often the ones that fetch the highest prices in the market. As the years go by, the appeal of older coins like the 2000 Jefferson nickel only grows. The nostalgia and historical significance that come with collecting coins from a bygone era make them highly sought after by collectors of all ages. As time passes, these coins are more likely to be considered relics of a different era, with their value continuing to rise as interest in numismatics deepens. For anyone interested in coin collecting, the 2000 Jefferson nickel is a great piece to begin with. It offers a unique look at American history while also providing the potential for long-term value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the hobby, this coin offers a window into the past and an opportunity to own a piece of American heritage. And now, after exploring the details and history of the 2000 Jefferson nickel, it's time to reveal just how valuable this coin has become. Due to its historical significance, rarity in certain conditions, and collector interest, the 2000 Jefferson nickel can be worth a surprising $35,766 when found in the right condition.